Yesterday on our show, I showed you the most important chart in crypto, and I told you that it flashed a very severe warning sign. 5 minutes after our show, Bitcoin crashed by over $2,000. Today, I'm going to show you another warning from the same chart and show you why I may be taking some profits. Also, what if I told you that you could buy Bitcoin today, right now, at $40,000? Yes, guys, this is not clickbait. Today, I'm going to show you how you can buy Bitcoin right now at $40,000 and make yourself over $7,000 a Bitcoin. I'm Crypto Banter, and I come to you each and every day at 10 a.m. EST. And I bring you crypto love and crypto wisdom, and together we are building the most profitable crypto community in the world. And I love coming to you on Fridays because Fridays means, Fred, what does Friday mean, man? Banter, baby. On Friday, we banter, and today we have got such amazing banter guests for you. Not only that, we're also going to give you a chance to win backstage passes to banter. Yeah, every Friday you guys can win backstage passes, hang out with Mr. Biz, Kyle, Elliotrades, Coach K, Winston. We're going to hang around in the backstage. All you need to do to be part of this is smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and share the video. And if you do that, guys, well, then you guys could win. Anyway, let's get on with the biggest news that is happening right now, and that is, of course, the mass adoption of Bitcoin. You heard me saying it to you guys yesterday, that 2017 was the beginning of mass adoption. And usually when you talk about the beginning of mass adoption, it's always met with skepticism. And 2017 was the era of skepticism. 2021 is the era of mass adoption and mass distribution. And you've heard me saying this before. And I posted something quite interesting on Twitter yesterday. If you don't follow me on Twitter, my handle is @CryptoManRun. But I posted this tweet that showed the percentage of the world using the internet in 1995 was 0.5%. The percentage of the world using internet in 2020 is 60%. The percentage of the world using Bitcoin in 2021 is 0.5%. What this tweet doesn't account for, though, is that the internet didn't have the internet to help it go viral. So when the internet launched, we didn't have social media and other ways to share things. Today, we can share things at the blink of an eye. In fact, we can share information quicker than the major news agencies can get their hands on information. And that's a recipe to make something more viral much quicker. So if we go back to that tweet and we look at that tweet and we look at how many years it took 25 years for 60% of the world to get adoption of the internet. I think it may take much less, much less, maybe a year, maybe 2 years, maybe 3 years to get major adoption of cryptocurrency. And there are two other drivers that are driving the adoption of cryptocurrency, which make me super excited. The first one is NFTs. You've heard me raving about NFTs. I've told you, I think that NFTs are going to be not only the biggest opportunity in crypto, but the biggest opportunity in any industry in the world. And today, major celebrities are discovering NFTs and they're sharing it down their fan bases, down their influencer bases. And so what we're getting is celebrities helping us get the network effect in NFTs. And if they're helping us get the network effect in NFTs, effectively what they're doing is they're driving adoption of cryptos. So I think that 2021 will go down as the year of mass adoption. And the biggest trigger for mass adoption of crypto will actually be these collectibles or these NFTs where people don't know that they're dealing in crypto. They think they're just buying a cool limited edition digital collectible. And if you guys haven't seen NBA Top Shot, go and have a look at NBA Top Shot. They sell you limited edition sports moments, which are NFTs. They've got the rights for limited edition sports moments, which are NFTs. But you don't actually realize that you're dealing in crypto at all, at any phase in the process. In fact, you even pay with a credit card. But what you're getting is an NFT. And so I think celebrities and NFTs are going to be driving mass adoption in crypto, and 2021 is the year of mass adoption. And on that note, Kings of Leon are launching their new album as an NFT. So they're going to do the main launch, and then they're going to launch an NFT collection for the album. And the NFT is going to allow you to get special album packages, live perks like front row seats for life, and exclusive audio visual pieces from the artists. And I think that this is just the beginning of NFTs. Not only that, in 2021, we've also got institutional adoption, huge institutional adoption, even from JP Morgan, even from Jamie Dimon's company. In fact, JP Morgan actually did a survey. And let's have a look at what the results of the survey was. So they interviewed 3,400 investors from 1,500 institutions. Of those, only 10% have already invested in crypto. Only 10% of institutions have dipped their feet into crypto, which means 90% are still uninvested. And that's, of course, the big opportunity. Of those 90%, 30% intend to invest. 53% say crypto is here to stay, which is much bigger than it was in 2017, where everyone thought it was going to die. And 7% say that crypto is the most important asset of the future. Guys, if you are here now, you are in the beginning, regardless of the price. You're in the beginning. And we are going to talk about the price because there is a price warning. We're going to talk about that later. But I'm also going to show you how you can make money from this price warning and actually buy Bitcoin. Yes, you can buy real Bitcoin and you can buy them at $40,000 and you can buy that today. Then in other news, I've got news of a terrible shark attack. Peter Schiff was attacked by a shark. He was attacked by none other than this shark over here, Mark Cuban, and well, they were on Twitter going up and down at each other. And Mark Cuban said this. He said, "Let me help Peter. Gold is hyped as much as crypto. Do we really need gold jewelry? Gold can make you a ring. BTC and ETH are technologies that can make you a banker, allow friction-free exchange of value, and are extensible into an unlimited range of business and personal applications." When is this Peter Schiff going to give up? I don't know if the guy's ever going to give up. Seriously. And then again, reminding you guys, in about 10, 15 minutes, we're going to start our regular Friday banter. Boy, oh boy, have I got big guests for you guys today. And we've got Elio. If the guy, yeah, Elio's awake. I can see that Elio's awake. So Elio is going to join our show today. It is going to be so much fun. We got all these guys. Guys, as I said to you, if you want to win backstage passes, and you can join us backstage, you can spend time with all the guys. It's so simple. What I need from you is to smash the like and to share this video. And you must be a subscriber. So of course, subscribe to our channel because you can only select subscribers. And then reminding you again, Monday, token of the month. Our token of the month this month is Phantom. You guys wanted to know more about Phantom. And so I've got Michael Chen coming in on Monday, and he's going to give us a full project breakdown about Phantom. So let's get on with the show. But before we get on the show, as usual, guys, I need you guys to smash up those likes. I see there are over 1,000 of you and there's only 400 likes. Smash up those likes because today is Friday, and let us get on with the show. So earlier this week, I said to you guys that there's one chart in crypto that nobody's watching, and that this is the most important chart in crypto. And yesterday on the show, I said that this chart raised a warning. It was flashing a warning, and I told you guys that we need to be careful. We need to be wary because even though this chart specifically is not a crypto chart, this chart is the most important chart of crypto. And for those of you who didn't watch the show, this chart is what they call the 10-year US Treasury yield chart. And what is the 10-year Treasury yield? For those of you that haven't been watching it, well, the 10-year Treasury yield is the rate at which the US government borrows money. And the US government borrows money to fund its expenditure. So if they want to do stimulus, if they want to build new roads, if they want to build highways, the US government needs to raise money. And they do this by selling bonds or treasury yields. And the 10-year treasury yield is effectively just an IOU from the US government that says that if you give me $1 million today, I will give you $1 million in 10 years, and I will also give you a coupon or a yield of 1.5%. But as the US government borrows more and more money, they flood the market with these bonds. And so investors don't want to buy them. And so what happens is they reduce the price of the bond and therefore increase the yield. And that is exactly what's happening. The yield on the 10-year treasury yield is going up. And when that happens, then investors are faced with a very difficult choice. Should they keep their money in risky assets like stocks, like Bitcoin, or should they put their money in the risk-free asset, which is the government asset? So typically, when the bond rate is down or the treasury yield is down or very low, then investors who are looking for yield will put their money into stocks. And they will expect the stocks, even though the stocks are a bit riskier, they will expect the stocks to pay them a dividend yield, to pay them a percentage of the profits every year. And if you look at what happened in our show yesterday, Fred, call up the chart from our show yesterday. So we told you that we worried about the 10-year treasury yield, and that you can see with a big X where Crypto Banter went live. And then a few hours after the show, Jerome Powell spoke, and he smashed the treasury yield up. The treasury yield went from 1.4 to 1.55%, which is 10% up on the bond rate, which is absolutely, absolutely huge. When this happened, the US stock market went down very fast. Have a look at that. That big decline is what happened to the US stock market. Okay, so what does this mean? It means that when the treasury yield goes up, investors are faced with a choice. Should they keep their money in stocks, which are risky, or should they put the money into the 10-year treasury yield, which is effectively what they call a risk-free investment? Well, now we have another problem, another warning sign. And that is that when you look at this chart over here, if you look at the blue chart, the blue chart is the dividend yield on the S&P 500. In other words, if you held a basket, if you held the S&P 500, all 500 shares, and you received your annual dividends, the annual dividend yield is about 1.5 or 1.6%. The green line is the return on the 10-year government bond yield, which means that if you held a government bond today, your return would be the same as if you invested in a basket of 500 stocks. But theoretically, stocks are much riskier than lending money to the government. And so today we're faced with a crisis. Because if this treasury yield chart continues to go up, if this green line continues to go up and the blue line continues to go down, then investors will take their money out of the risky assets and they'll invest them into risk-free assets. And unfortunately today, Bitcoin and crypto are seen as a risky asset. So we've got to watch this 10-year treasury yield. If this rate carries on going up, there's a big chance that investors are going to take profits. We've already seen this on the S&P 500. We've already seen this on the Dow Jones. We've seen that those markets have had an 8 or 10% correction in the last couple of weeks. Question is that going to continue? And so I've got Nebraska Guna with us. Nebraska, how are you, my friend?
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me.
What do you think of the risk of the 10-year treasury yield on the stock markets and then the correlation onto the Bitcoin markets?
Yeah, like you said, it's definitely can be a little concerning as people will start to look into more low risk assets. And I think that's kind of where we're at right now anyway. Everyone, I mean, man, it's been such a good run. At some point, people are going to start to de-risk. So it's worth showing caution.
Yeah, so exactly. I think the most important thing that people don't understand is making money is not the aim here. Because in a bull market, we're all making money. The aim is to keep the profits.
Right.
What I keep telling my community and what I'm saying to you guys here again today is rather take more money off the table and keep it than have high profits and eventually be left with nothing. The aim of the game is to keep profits, not to make money, because you'll never, ever sell the top.
Exactly. Theoretical profits mean nothing.
Exactly. Until they realized and in your back pocket. All right, I need you to do something very specific for me. Everyone always charts the Bitcoin price and the Ethereum price and everything else. We need to chart this 10-year treasury yield, and we need to see whether we think the charts are telling us that this is going up or down. And you can share your screen. There's a little button at the bottom which allows you to share your screen. While you are sharing the screen, guys, smash that like. I see you guys.
What's the ticker for that?
It is the, I don't know, 10-year treasury yield. Hold on, let me have a look at the ticker. I don't have the ticker on my screen. It's a U.S. government 10-year treasury yield. And then the S&P 500. Those are the two charts that we need to be.
10-year. Oh, there it is. Cool. Let me pull this up and then I can share.
It's Friday. Fred, bring me a beer, my man, please.
There you go.
All right, you can just show. There we go. So we have your chart up there on the thing. Now, usually when we look at a chart, the chart that goes up is good for us. Today, if the chart looks like it's going to go up, that may be a bad thing for us.
Yeah, it really looks like it wants to go up.
Does it look like it wants to go up? Tell us what you're thinking.
Well, I wouldn't be too concerned just yet, but if we break up from this, sorry, that was my wife. If we break up from this, you see this really large breakdown here with a V recovery. So my concern would be something like this, a really sharp breakdown here, a V, and then a break up here, and then we're really going to take off. So this would be my caution zone in here to where I'm going to be showing caution. And then up here, it's full blood, it's risk off mode. As you start to come up here, you're going to see a real move once we get above this trend line and above this resistance here.
Okay, so
yeah.
I mean, if you were a betting man, would you take a position here? Would you take a position that this thing is going up?
In this, yeah. Let's watch this run. It looks like it wants to run. Not only that, my indicator is showing a buy approaching here, which a lot of times means that if we get back above this trend line, we're going to run once you get that. So if we start to see this push, we're going to get momentum from my indicator start to push out, and we're going to see probably a new trend develop.
Wow. Okay. Look, that upward trend is a very bad trend because it means that interest rates in the United States are going to go up. It means that the markets are going to come down. When you look at this chart, maybe we should take a look at the S&P 500, because then theoretically what we're looking at is if this is going up, we expect the S&P 500 to go down, right? Because investors are going to take their money out of risky assets and put them into government bonds. Right. When you look at the S&P 500 chart, how does that look?
Well, we don't like this slowed momentum here, that's for sure. We see a lot of slow momentum, a lot of really tight candles here, a rejection candle here technically. So we need to see some upward movement soon, or we're going to see momentum start to carry us down. And then if we lose this breakdown area here, the low of this candle, we're going to see a big pullback, very likely. You can see this candle is pretty low volume. The low of this will be really important, and we have a lot of support down here. But if we lose that, you're going to see a lot of people start to pull out, and we don't really have much support anywhere down until about 200s.
Wow.
Our next major support area, right around here.
Whoa. Okay. So this is quite. I mean, you could get quite a big correction if this happens on the S&P 500, which is something that I've been calling because we've had a bull run, an artificial bull run for a long time. The bull run's been sparked by money printing. And what investors are telling us now is we don't trust the US anymore around money printing. And that's why we want a higher rate of return on the treasury yields.
Well, and we're seeing some concerning signs here. I mean, look at all this sell volume coming in here. Our on-balance volume usually leads price action. You can see how it's starting to lose this uptrend already. So if we don't recover soon, then you're going to see the S&P price as well start to follow along with this and start to trend down as well. And like I said, even on this lower time frame on the weekly chart, we don't really have much support. If we lose this area, we don't have much support down until about 300 area.
Wow. Okay. That's about a 20% correction. Look, I'm not expecting a 20% correction, but it's not far-fetched because if you think about the actual economy, I'm not talking about the tech economy and the big institution economy, but the actual economy in the US, the man on the street hasn't had business for a year. They've been in lockdown for a year.
Right. So if you want me to show you something real quick, so my indicator, it's called Top Goon X. This is an indicator I use a lot. It's got a red X here, which is a sell signal. or a sell approaching signal. So it's going to mean like sell to bounce basically. And what you see here is it gives it right at the bottom of this move, which is awesome because you expect us to bounce. And the first area we're supposed to hit would be the 786 fib. And if we close above there, you'd expect us to go to the 1.337 fib, which we did right here. And this is a very important area because per the rules of this, the 1.337 Fibonacci level can be considered a bull trap area here. So if we're unable to reclaim this 1337 fib and close below it, it's very, very likely that we're going to see back here to 313 at the 786 Fibonacci level. And if we break below this, then it's very likely we're actually going to go back to the 236 fib level. This is very high percentage probability to happen based on the signals given when we close below these levels. And then if we go below the 0.236, you're going to see full on downtrend. It's going to be accelerated and we're likely going to break this low.
Wow. Okay. That doesn't sound too good. Okay. One more chart that we need to see. We need to see the Bitcoin chart because I would imagine there's some kind of correlation between the S&P and Bitcoin. And because they're both seen as risk assets, right?
Right. Yeah. So Bitcoin for me, I haven't really traded too much this week. I'm basically just watching this weekly level. We've got this high volume bearish, basically a bearish engulfing candle. And so for me to really get back to risk on mode, full exposure, I want to see us close this weekly above this level. If we do that, it's very likely we're going to see a very strong move up, probably close to 100K within the next few weeks. That'd be a big signal here. But you could see here, we're actually hitting a resistance right at this level. This is a resistance. And if we're unable to reclaim this area after this breakdown, it's pretty likely we're going to see at least, 40K area down here where our next support is at. So that's kind of what I'm watching. I'm basically just mostly sitting out this week and kind of letting things play out because like you said, you don't need to make money all the time. I like to make money when the market's hot and when the conditions are right. And when there's a little of uncertainties, I'd rather sit out and preserve that capital and find other money-making opportunities later on.
Amazing. Well, we're going to let you sit out and look for money-making opportunities. I do want to get you back here next week because I want to talk to you about alts. I love your charting methodology. We love new that on our show. So let's get you back next week. Let's talk some BTC. Let's talk some alts. And let's talk about other trading opportunities that you got.
All right. Sounds great. Thanks for having me. Have a good weekend.
Thank you. And to you. Thanks. Another new gem guest here on Crypto Banter. And guys, look, you need to make your own decision. But I can tell you one thing. I'm starting to take my cash meter back up to 25% because I'm worried about the macro. I'm worried about what's happening around us. I'm not worried about crypto. The fundamentals are strong, but if the US goes risk off, then crypto is going to suffer. And I want to have some profit. So remember, my cash meter was on 17 or 18%. I'm going to start building up my cash position. And what does that mean? It means you need to make a call. Do you want to make money on paper, or do you want to be rich or profitable after the correction? And if you do, then probably now's a good time to start taking profits. I don't think we're going to get an all-out crash, but hey, take some profits. If the US market crashes, it's much, much, much bigger than crypto, and you'll have money in your pocket. Cool, let's get on with the next story on today, and that is because I want to get into the banter. I see the guests are here ready to banter. So let's get into the big story of the day. I told you guys that I would tell you how you could buy $40,000 Bitcoin today. Let's see if Coach K knows how to buy. Coach, do you know how to buy a $40,000 Bitcoin today?
Today? Like right now?
Right now. Right now, today, I can help you buy a $40,000 Bitcoin.
You can?
Yes.
How are you going to do that?
Listen to the next segment. Alrighty, so how do you buy a $40,000 Bitcoin? I know you all think this is clickbait, but it's not. I'm going to show you how to do it. The biggest buyer of Bitcoin today is the Grayscale Trust. The Grayscale Trust effectively set up individual trusts. Grayscale sets up individual trusts for cryptocurrencies. And in those trusts, all they do is they put Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, Ethereum Classic, etc. Now, you can see from this table that the Bitcoin GBTC Trust has 655,700 Bitcoins and has a net asset value of $31.4 billion. And they have an Ethereum Trust, which has 3.17 million ETH with $4.45 billion, and they have a Litecoin trust, and the list goes on and on. So, how does this help us make money? If you guys watched this show yesterday, I told you that there is a thing called a grayscale premium, and I want to show you guys the grayscale premium. It's an important thing. Let us call up that screen, the grayscale BTC premium. Okay, so that is a chart of the GBTC premium. What that means is that if you held shares in the Grayscale Trust, or shares in the Grayscale Trust were sold to unaccredited investors at a premium to the assets in the trust. So let's quickly walk through this. How does Grayscale work? Accredited investors can buy shares in the Grayscale Trust at the value of the Bitcoin in the trust. It's called net asset value. So if you're an accredited investor, if you're a wealthy investor, if you, in the US, if you have over $1 million in net assets, then you are what they call an accredited investor. And if you're an accredited investor, you can buy shares in the Grayscale Trust at the value of the assets in the trust. You only receive these shares after 6 months. And then you sell those shares on the open market to the unaccredited investor, the poorer investor, and you sell it to them at a premium. And this is known as the Grayscale premium. And as you can see from the chart here, for years, there has been this huge premium where accredited investors could buy Bitcoin in the net asset, in the GBTC trust, and they could sell the same Bitcoin shares in the trust that represent a proportion of the trust, and they would sell it for a huge premium. On Bitcoin, up to 40%. On Ethereum, up to 800%. And on Litecoin, up to 2,000%. So accredited investors are buying these assets, buying shares, waiting 6 months for their shares, selling their shares to unaccredited investors at a premium, and then rinsing and repeating. And they've been making money like this for a long, long, long time. And there are poor unaccredited investors who bought their Bitcoin at a 40% premium, who bought their Ethereum at an 8, imagine paying 8 times the value of Ethereum for Ethereum. But guys, this is true. Let me show you. I want to show you something. It breaks my heart, but it is what it is. It's because the SEC hasn't yet approved a Bitcoin ETF. Let me show you this. So that is the premium on the Ethereum trust. Look at that point over there. The premium was, you were paying 10 times the value of Ethereum to buy the same Ethereum if you just bought the shares of trust. Unaccredited investors were paying accredited investors because only accredited investors can buy shares in the trust. But something very interesting has happened. Because all of a sudden investors are nervous, and because all of a sudden there's less demand, there is a negative premium for the first time in many years. And so that means that if you buy shares in the Grayscale Trust today, and anyone that has a Robinhood account or an Interactive Brokers account or a stockbroker account in the US can buy the ticker symbol GBTC. And if you buy the GBTC today, you are getting an 11.59%. In fact, I think it was as low as 14% discount to the assets in the trust. And those assets in the trust are effectively just Bitcoin. So if you want to buy your Bitcoin at a 14% discount today, all you need to do is phone your broker, go to Interactive Brokers, go to Robinhood, go to whatever app you're trading shares on, and buy shares in GBTC Trust. And you're buying those shares at a 14% discount to net asset value. And the only assets in the trust are Bitcoin. And there is a chance that the premium will go up again. And it will continue to do so until such time as an ETF is approved. You could probably do the same thing on Ethereum too. So let's just have a look at Ethereum. So let's look at the Ethereum Trust. Let me share my screen with you on that one. This is the premium to the Ethereum Trust. You can do the same thing on Ethereum. If you buy shares in the Ethereum Trust now, you're getting a 10% discount on your Ethereum. And these shares are pretty liquid in the market. So I told you, I'd show you guys how you can get access to BTC at a 10 or 14% discount. I told you it wasn't clickbait. And there it is. That's how you do it. Open a broker account, buy shares in the GBTC trust, but just check what the premium is to net asset value because this thing fluctuates. And as long as the premium is negative, you know what that means? It means that you can make money. So what I'm going to do straight after the show, I'm going to go and buy shares in the GBTC trust because it is effectively buying Bitcoin at a 14% discount. So guys, my tile wasn't clickbait. You can actually do this. Anyway, let's get on with the show because it is Friday. And on Fridays, we banter. And today we are bantering with the best people around. In fact, these are my only friends. I mean, Coach K. Coach, what do you think? 14%, I like it. 14% discounted Bitcoin.
I mean, if you guys like free money, I mean, you must hate money if you're not buying GBTC. I didn't notice that. I thought today would go back to the way it was before after yesterday.
14% free money. You know what else we got today? We've got a big celeb on the show. We've got Elio on the show. Ta-da!
Heyo.
What's going on, guys? Thanks for having me.
He woke up at 7 o'clock in the morning to join the Friday banter. We've also got the 100X man. The 100X man is also with us. 100X man,
what's
are you
up,
here?
Guys?
What's up?
Nice to see you. I got a nice avatar for you today in celebration of Cody's all-time high.
Oh,
nice.
Last week, you called Cody last week. I remember that. But that's not all we got for you guys because if you guys, we've got Kyle with us as well. And we have one more banter guest for you guys. And that is, of course, guys, do you know who this is? Of course, Mr. Biz. Mr. Biz, welcome back, my friend.
How you guys doing? Can you guys hear me clearly?
Yeah, loud and clear, brother. Clear as ever.
How you doing? Guys. Coach, Elio, Wolf, Kyle, how's everybody doing?
What's going on, Biz?
What's up, buddy?
It's Friday, man. Good day.
Guys,
it's Friday. You got the all-star team here.
This is the all-star team. It doesn't get bigger than this. Happy Friday, guys. Welcome to Crypto Banter. Elio, welcome to Crypto Banter. I know this is your first Friday banter with us, man.
Oh, yeah, it's a pleasure. It's an honor. Thanks for having me, guys.
We woke you up very early. I mean, Elio is on the West Coast. It was at 7:30 in the morning.
It's okay. I'm here now, man. Ran, you sent me all those love letters last night saying, "Look, you better be here, or I'm gonna find you next week." So I said, "Okay, man, I'll be there. I'll be there."
All right, guys, I want to start off with our calls from last week. The call that Wolf, the 100X man, made last week was a COTI. Wolfie, you hit it out the park, man.
Yeah, man, and there's actually a lot more coming there. So this is just the early taste. I have it on good authority that there's some extra stuff being done with ADA that's past just ADA Pay. So I think you're going to see a little bit of movement there. And also on their other coin, Govy, here there's a centralized exchange listing coming for that, and that the ETH integration is going to be happening. You might actually see COTI as a BEP20 token too sometime in the near future.
So he just told us it's going on Binance chain. Got it.
I'm just guessing here, making educated guesses.
Okay. So that's big. That's big. Listen, speaking of ADA, I mean, Cardano has had an unbelievable run, and it doesn't look like it's going to stop anytime soon. I watched a video by Coin Bureau. If you guys don't follow Coin Bureau, the guy's fantastic. And I watched a video by him on Cardano, and it really, in 30 minutes, explains everything that's happening on Cardano. I mean, it's mind-boggling stuff. You've got the Ethereum bridge. You've got the ability to copy and paste Solidity code and paste it in Cardano and basically launch your Cardano app immediately. You've got the bridge, which swaps tokens. So you've got all of this happening right now.
Biz.
You've got NFTs as well, Ran. Let's not forget about some NFT hype.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as NFT hype. I have no idea what you're talking about. No one's buying millions of dollars of NFTs or anything. No one paid 500 for LEOs or anything like that.
Yeah, it's I hate to say I told you guys so, but yeah, this is just the beginning because NFTs aren't, to a lot of people, they're not even crypto. And so I think that's kind of the mind jump that people don't understand, is that this is just, it's access to things, to access to people. We're seeing the celebrity thing come in. And yeah, I mean, I love it. I love seeing this because this is just, I feel like I've been talking to myself in an empty room about NFTs for 3 years. And now everyone's an NFT junkie now. So
you have to have NFTs in your portfolio. You have to have a good mix.
And it's just the first little wave, right? And so there's going to be a bunch of weird action right now, but it's a time to be studying the space more than anything, even if you're not acting. I think people are feeling a lot of FOMO, and I think it's not a time to be acting irrationally. It's more a study period.
All right. So other than Superfarm, because we know you got to buy Superfarm, we've called it. But other than Superfarm, what other good entries are there on NFTs? Like, for example, you've got the Dapper Labs blockchain, which is Flow. Dapper Labs are the guys that created CryptoKitties. They've got their own blockchain. That blockchain has gone parabolic. Flow has really gone parabolic. I think the market cap is about $1 billion. Is anyone excited about it?
Yeah.
I think it's cool. But I think there's better NFTs out there.
I think for your ROI, from an ROI standpoint, I mean, I wouldn't buy Flow, but Bondly TVK. I mean, look at what Bondly just did. Yeah. Bondly's adding more and more partners, and they have still some secret partners left. They just added Tory Lanez. If you guys don't know Tory Lanez, he's big time. He's a big time music artist, and they have 2, 3 more. Eternity's another one. Nick Rose from Eternity. They partnered with Superfarm as well, I believe. Also, Eternity's got amazing partners.
Also, Polkadot for paid coming up on Bondly too. So
I will just say with the NFT stuff is the reason that Flow and Dapper and those sorts of guys are really interesting, and the Eternities and Superfarms and TVKs and Bondlies of the world, is who they're partnering with, and I think that's something that we're going to really see, kind of like the 2017, let's call it shitcoin boom, is that there's going to be a big gap between your standard NFT and your premium NFTs. And if you're looking to invest and make money on NFTs, the premium ones with those sorts of brand associations and partnerships are the ones you want to be focusing on.
One of the ones that I have to pay attention to is for NFTs is Engine. Engine's like one of the most legit projects in the space, incredible team, like proven their ability to deliver time and time again. And they're building, they're releasing Efinity quite soon, which is their new project, which is like a NFT superhighway connecting all the different, all the NFT projects, standards, the different protocols that will host NFTs. That's one that a lot of people don't know about yet, but that's going to be massive.
Elio, I want to give you your 5 minutes of fame here. We love Superfarm. You guys have had a very successful launch. Tell us in a nutshell what's coming up, what we can expect in the next few months. What's coming up?
Yeah, for us, I wanted to touch briefly on sort of my view on NFTs in general, which is sort of the concept here that we approach DeFi with, which is there's going to be a lot of experimentation and there's going to be a lot of different people, iterating on similar looking concepts. And what we saw with DeFi was, you're looking for those DeFi primitives, those things that end up becoming core layers and core functionality layers for something new. And I'm taking a kind of similar, but obviously modified approach to the DeFi, to the NFT world. Obviously, I have my own project in NFT. And so working on making sure that Superfarm is addressing sort of core, what I call, NFT primitives in my own mind, right? But as far as what we have coming up, obviously, we haven't put out a big glamorous roadmap as that was purposeful because there was just already so much expectation. We didn't feel like it was something where we wanted to constantly talk about, what's coming next. We wanted to just ship code. And so we'll be seeing the first version of Superfarm this month. And then April, we have some really, really interesting partners and things coming to the platform. Again, I don't want this to become just a huge hype up moment of things that aren't happening. I want to drop the news as it happens. And yeah, we're really excited. The team's growing and we have some amazing talent, which, you know, people are in the tech world, talented people are driving the true innovation. And so, you know, my dream is to be surrounded with the smartest people in the room, people smarter than me. And I'm truly humbled by the type of people that this project is attracting. So that's been the biggest achievement for me, is to scale out a truly talented team. And you'll be seeing a lot more deliveries this month, April. And yeah, we're super excited, to say the least.
Alrighty, amazing. Guys, too late to buy Cardano, or are we still buying it? I want to go back to where we started this discussion. Huge market cap now. Let me check the latest market cap, but quite a big market cap now. Amazing things happening, but not much being built yet because there's no smart contracts. And you're talking about a $40 billion market cap.
I still think there's opportunity there. Actually, I think this little dip. I think this little dip is a good opportunity to buy, to be honest. I mean, if you have a look around the place and you do some research on things, I think you might find that their legal counsel is no longer with them, and there might be a reason for that, and it's a bullish reason, not a bearish
very
reason.
Bullish reason.
Yeah, so look, I'll just leave it at that because I don't want to say too much, but more to come in the very near future.
Man, Winston, where do you get your information from? Because you seem to have all this information that no one else has got.
Birds that chirp in our ears.
Yeah, hack people's email. I read their email. So. Been reading yours.
I'm going to get you to banter with Charles, because I'd love to watch that debate between why you choose Polkadot over Cardano.
Well, first of all, what Cardano for the last 3 years has just been Polkadot. You have substrate technology, which people are actually building upon. Every new project, I've talked to developers. They tell me they look at all the platforms and they just want to build on Polkadot. So I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Cardano. I'm saying comparatively, Polkadot has a parachain narrative, right? And people right now are FOMOing into buy DOT. And then when you have parachains, auctions being in Polkadot, supply crisis, people have to buy Polkadot and they have to stake their Polkadot, right? These organizations. And so I don't see a good narrative with Cardano right now. In fact, I would buy KSM over Cardano right now. Why are we not talking about KSM? That was $1 and went to $250, $300, and is basically one of the best investments you can have right now.
I agree.
Like why not pick KSM over Cardano? I would go right now. If somebody told me they had money to invest, I would tell you right now, buy KSM before the parachain auctions. KSM is going to go to $2,000 probably within the next year or so. Put the bank on that. There's a limited supply, and it's got one of the best narratives in the space. And KSM is going to be here long after this bull run's done, because people are going to have their KSMs locked up in staking. XRT, Fala, all these projects, Trust-based, they're going to have the tokens locked up in staking. I don't know what the narrative is for Cardano.
All right.
It's an interesting point. It's an interesting point about the tokenomics really pushing the narrative there. Whereas, it's not factual where any of us can say if Polkadot or Substrate is better than Cardano's underlying tech, because we haven't gotten to see two similar looking apps, two similar looking code bases go head to head on them. But what we do know is that the parachain, sort of the way the tokenomics are nested within the Polkadot ecosystem, forcing you to buy DOT, forcing you to essentially own a parachain, and that parachain being a protectable kind of moat that no one else can have. Those for investors, right? For speculators, provides a lot of rocket fuel for people to sort of feel like they're getting into something that can keep having gas. So that's definitely, tokenomics definitely is some of the best marketing. So that's a great point.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay, $1,000. That's all you've got. You can put it on a one token, Polkadot or Cardano. Coach.
DOT.
Elio?
It's like no question.
Right now I'm going DOT, but surprise me, Charles. Surprise me.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we don't have to ask Mr. Biz. Oh, look at Kyle's smile. Oof.
Kyle. Of course it's DOT, man. But I agree with Biz. I would actually, I think the thing that people don't realize is that Kusama is a fork of Polkadot. It's the exact same economics with a massively reduced supply. I think it's like 10 million or something. So it's a very, very rare commodity. And And what people, just not enough people are talking about Kusama yet, but the fact is that that Polkadot is going to be an enterprise chain, right? It's going to be the biggest of the biggest. Whoever can afford a parachain slot will, but Kusama is going to be the people's chain. It's going to be like, you know, all of us who are in crypto who want like a more developer, I don't know if it's developer focused, but more like, you know, if you're not a huge enterprise, you're probably going to go on Kusama, and there's going to be huge demand for it. And just people haven't really, it hasn't popped off like Polkadot has yet, but it should be pretty close in value to Polkadot at the end of the day.
Okay, Winston.
Look, I'm not going to argue with the point that Dot's got the narrative, it's got people building, it's got a lot of momentum behind. But I think, you know, when you phrase the question as it's a one or the other, you know, it is a Dot type thing. But I think as a savvy investor, you want to be taking bets on all these major ecosystem chains at this point in time.
Yep. I agree. Atom, the Lunas, the Dots, the ADAs. You want to have a little bit of exposure to them all.
Guys, parachains is a bigger narrative than Ethereum 2.0. Ethereum, because to me, the Ethereum hype is done. Ethereum hype is done. The parachain hype has not even begun yet, because you're looking at all these top tier projects right now, and what are they saying? We're going to power by Polkadot. We're going to get parachains, and look at the best projects. Look what Shadows did. Shadows compared to synthetics, everybody loves Shadows. There isn't a person who would tell you that they do not love any of these Polkadot projects.
Okay, how did Shadows do? So, Kyle, you called that on the show last week. I remember that. So, how did it go?
Paige got the tier 1 Polkadot projects. Kyle, let them know.
Yeah, it did. I think it was about a 30x from for public sale. Now it's sitting at, I don't know, 25, 20, 28, something like that. And it's just getting started. You know, I mean, the team's just delivering, and they've really picked up the pace recently. You know, we're really happy to have been supporting them for a long time, and they're going, and they're like, yeah, just getting started. This Polkadot narrative is insane. And when you're dealing with something like synthetics that have a high turnover and you need to do a lot of transactions, you don't want to pay these ridiculous fees, you know? So it makes perfect sense that that you're going to want an alternative on Polkadot, and synthetics is first in that arena. Like Shadows is first in that arena. They're gonna absolutely crush it.
Okay, amazing.
Cheap fees, BSC, sir. Why not BSC?
Ooh, there we go. So,
Linear.
BSC is a good one. I mean, we're like Paid is now on BSC, but the problem is like, well, I don't know if it's a problem, but there's some quirky things with BSC still that are being worked out, and they will be worked out soon. I don't think there's anything wrong with BSC other than the debate of whether it's decentralized or not.
Okay, so hold on. Here's my question. In a year and a half, you're going to have Cardano on being able to do smart contracts. You're going to have ETH 2.0 hopefully up. So the plane's going to be flying, and ETH 2.0 is going to be up. You're going to have Polkadot. Maybe you're going to have Polkadot. Do we then still need BSC? Because the problem for me with BSC is it reminds me too much of Tron and EOS. I know it's much more decentralized and it works way better and it has much more network effect. But it's when you've got decentralized solutions with low gas fees and high throughput, with easy languages to write, what is the use case for a non-decentralized blockchain? Or do you think that by that time it'll have so much network effect that it'll just be one of the major chains?
Well, that was my point when I came on here a few weeks ago, man, is that like, let's see where this hype goes with BSC, because it's literally, its use case at this point in time is it's cheaper than everything else, you know? And once something comes through to parity to that, we do get into stuff like the network effect and the size of the network and, you know, the developer base that sits behind it. And while there's a lot of compatibility there, that's why, you know, like, I'm still a big ETH fanboy, and I don't think that the ETH 2.0 hype is dead or anything like that, because as soon as that comes through, you know, we're going to see a rebirth of the network in that way, and people just developing natively on there, because that's what we've been doing for a long, long time. Like, I come from a background in enterprise IT, and one of the solutions that we always pick is the one which is best supported, and that's still Ethereum.
All right, Elliot.
Hold on a second. If you talk to anybody in Silicon Valley, they'll tell you right now the big dogs all want to build on Substrate. I've spoken to them. All the big dogs say they want to build on Substrate.
Sure, at this point in time, you know, It's
Right.
that my point is that people have been building on Ethereum for years. They're kind of still building some stuff on there, but migrating them across to other chains for that fee aspect of things and the usability, and to get exposure to maybe a different user base. But as soon as that flips back around and Ethereum becomes what it should be, I think that we'll see people just building on there natively and probably not doing other chains so much.
That's the thing.
Hold on, before we go on, guys, I see that there's over 2,000 people in the chat and there are under 1,000 likes. Come on, guys, smash that like. Let's get this shadow ban that we've been dealing with. Let's break it. Let's break the shadow ban. Help us. You've helped us so much this week. We need a little bit more help, and I think that the shadow ban will be gone. Yesterday was the first time in a week that our videos weren't shadow banned. So smash that like, guys. Smash it.
Obliterate the like, guys. Obliterate it. Destroy it.
This is the best talk show in all of crypto, hands down. This is the best.
There is one thing that I do have been thinking about a lot lately, though, is that, okay, so this is the narrative of Polkadot, right? It's like Gavin Wood was around. It's like the same thing. If you do anything the first time you do it, you learn a lot of mistakes along the way, and then if you want to do it the second time, you're like, shit, I could just do a whole lot better this time. But the fact is that Ethereum is decentralized, and so it's really, really hard to upgrade a decentralized network with consensus. So Gavin said, well, I learned a lot of lessons. I'm just going to go do it better from scratch. And that's what Polkadot is. The thing that concerns me a little bit about Ethereum is that I think it's still going to be probably 2 years out or something before Ethereum 2.0 is actually rolled out. In the meantime, people can easily port their Ethereum apps into Polkadot via something like Moonbeam, Plasm, Parastate, whatever. And I'm just a little bit concerned for Ethereum that like everybody might have left the ecosystem and gone somewhere else that's working far better and just found a new home. That's
an interesting. It's definitely like the theoretical possibility that Ethereum is fully scaled. There's no doubt that if Ethereum was scaled right now, no one would be leaving. There is no substrate. There's no ADA. However, that theoretical reality is not a reality. And so if you're asking me when is Ethereum going to scale, I mean, we've all been seeing the Ethereum scaling next month, Ethereum scaling next year, Ethereum scaling soon. We've been seeing this for a long time. And so I also think that there's an element here of trust, which is why people get really frustrated when you see the cheaper, faster, better alternatives not taking market share. I mean, how many times have we been told it's more scalable, it's faster, it's better? And that argument was levied against Bitcoin about a million times over, and it never took hold. And so I think Ethereum benefits from the trust factor at the highest level in that the big, slow-moving, most impactful organizations still would prefer Ethereum due to the trust factor, if possible. So it's only going to be if forced into another ecosystem that they would eventually leave. But I do think that if Ethereum does get its stuff together, it will control still an extremely meaningful, if not the dominant smart contracts narrative. That said, it's hard to speculate because we haven't seen the scaling yet. So if it's still this clunky and still this slow, we'll see things go other places.
Binance chain, yes or no? Binance chain, yes or no for a year from now? In other words, should you be buying Binance chain long term?
Well, here's the thing. I think people are underestimating why Ethereum is Ethereum, and a lot of it is network effect. And Binance chain is the first. I will go out on a limb and say it is the first layer one besides Ethereum to truly achieve a network effect. And that is a genuine network effect. And so to me, I think people are really underestimating how special what's going on Binance chain is. And even though to the sophisticated crypto head, it is less decentralized, less crypto native, the reality is that I'm tipping my hat to CZ here because people don't give that guy enough credit for being the beast of an entrepreneur that he is. And in my opinion, one of the most incredible innovators in the space. And I get it. He's not the biggest champion of decentralization and all these other things, but he has moved the rock forward. And Binance chain is a beast. And I would not underestimate the impact that developers would easily choose it for the next several months. I mean, when's Parachain auctions right now? So to me, it's still a lot of theoretical future stuff, whereas Binance chain is working right now. Developers can go have success on it right now.
Don't go have sex on Binance, guys.
Developers don't have sex, guys.
Well, I do want to point out something there. Is that you guys are calling it Binance chain. there's an important note there. It's Binance Smart Chain because, CZ did have a Binance chain previously, which, he's kind of put in his toy box and packed up in the back of the cupboard at this point in time. So let's not keep him, let's just keep in mind that, CZ, when he pushes something, he pushes it hard and often has a lot of success with it, but he's not afraid to just let something die when it's no longer useful. So
have a look at this.
Making him great. That's another trait of a great entrepreneur is to cut and run and move, and he's constantly iterated.
Yeah,
so.
well, look, I get that, but I mean, for all the projects which migrated over to that in the first place and went through the process of getting on the Binance DEX and all that sort of stuff, that's probably not ideal for them.
Have a look at this tweet from CZ where he says, "Fun trivia about BSC. Most people wrongly attribute me as the founder. In fact, I only read about it in the white paper when you found out about it on Twitter."
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't even get it.
Is that what makes it decentralized? CZ doesn't know.
I'm not the boss, so it's decentralized.
I want to go around and I want to talk to you guys about today what you think is the most exciting, undervalued, screaming buy of a listed token. So something that is listed, something that you'd look at. Last week, Winston, you called COTI. Let's go around and see what we're looking at and why we're looking at it and why we're so excited. I can see you guys all trembling. Coach, what are you thinking about?
I know Elio knows this one too. There's a lot of stuff coming in the next probably about 3 to 4 weeks for Orbit freeway token. They've incorporated basically a way for retail people to invest in funds without having to be accredited. So, you hold a token, you invest your tokens into certain funds, and then those funds pay you in tokens. So it's not actually like you're not actually holding the asset, but they are in the whole network effect we keep talking about is instead of them taking all the fees like they normally do, all the brokers and people to buy a stock, you could buy like gold, right? But like a digital version of gold. And every time you do the fees, half of them get put back to buy the actual asset underlying. So what happens is you actually make more money versus when you normally hold a stock or anything, Forex, you don't make anything. You don't make any extra capital for that. So they're introducing some of that. And some more stuff coming as well, and a really cool referral program and stuff. So I'm really bullish on it. I think they're almost done. Their last token release will be in like less than 30 days, and then they're done. And I like buying tokens when they're pretty much at the end because people don't sell off at that point. So, yeah.
I've got a very interesting question. That is, Kyle, when will paid be on PancakeSwap? Thanks. That's from one of our viewers. That's from Rich Rams.
Well, stay tuned for some. There's a lot going on with paid and that ecosystem right now. So it's coming. I just don't know have an exact date for you.
All right, Winston, what are you thinking?
I've got a few on my list here. Whether they're like good entry points exactly at this point in time or not, that's up to you to decide. Decenter, one that I've talked about on the show before. Has a lot of fundamental stuff come up. It's, a lot of these tokens have been a victim of the recent market dip, so they're kind of on sale in some way. They'll be releasing their full browser in end of Q2, early Q3. Staffy.
What is Decenter?
Decenter's like it's a Brave bat competitor. So they've got a MVP out at the moment, which is kind of like Steemit, I guess, which is a browser plugin, but they'll be releasing their full browser end of Q2, early Q3, bat competitor, but more fully integrated into the crypto ecosystem. So a lot of chain support, native chain support, and obviously like with a Steemit style social interface built into it. Also on my list, Staffy. Obviously, if we're talking about the Polkadot ecosystems, that's one which is very integrated into that, doing a lot of stuff with liquid staking. And again, a lot of FA coming up. And my last two are reserve rights, which I know all the boys are into on this chat. That had a mad run up to about 10 cents recently and got smashed back down to 4 cents perhaps. I think it's probably sitting about 6 at the moment. Again, a lot of FA coming up for that. Nevin's doing big podcast soon to give some details on what's to come. And the last
buy
one is
before
Frontier.
it goes on Coinbase. Buy
Yeah.
RSL before it goes on Coinbase. It's going to $1.
Any RSR.
My last one is Frontier. Obviously, they had a mad pump recently based off BitBoy doing a video on it. However, they've got a token unlock coming mid-March. And if you're interested in that project, that's probably a good opportunity to buy after the token unlock. Very solid DeFi project integrated into almost everything. A real like Swiss Army knife for DeFi and crypto in general.
All right, can someone answer this question for me? What does reserve rights actually do? And I'll tell you why I ask. Because when we invested back in 2017, 2018, they were creating a stable coin that was initially over-backed, over-collateralized, and then under-collateralized as trust grew in the stable coin. What are they doing at the moment? Because the stable coin isn't out yet.
Well, they've got an app, which is a payment app, which is being used in South America, and got quite a lot of users. So they're essentially like, they're one of the sort of bridges for entry to crypto, and using crypto in its true use case in regards to democratization of finance, I guess, in that regard, and allowing users and merchants to transfer money in places where they have issues accessing like fiat currency. So Venezuela is one of the prime examples of that, where you've got to carry around 10 kilos of actual physical cash to buy a 2 kilo chicken or whatever it is, and essentially their app is allowing users to sort of move money around, hold money without the issues of inflation.
Okay. All right. Okay, great. Cool. Let's go on. Mr. Biz, dying to hear your calls.
So I said this one last time, guys, Zero Exchange is going to be the moonshot that you didn't see coming. It's the first and only quad DEX, right? So they have AVAX, they have ETH, they're working on a BSC integration. They hired Moonbeam devs for their Polkadot integration. They have a secret IDO partner coming out. This one is, I think I called it a 7 cents. It went all the way to like 35, 36. It's on a good retrace right now. They've got an anonymous team because the team is from top blockchain companies. So you're going to have to look up for that one. They're going to have a lot of bullish news coming out. Another one is Option Room. It's an Oracle that nobody's talking about. It's an Oracle as a service, and they just partnered with API 3. The bullish thing that Option Room did was that they delayed the VC token unlocks, right? So I'm always a fan of when somebody does that, thinks about the shareholders. Those two ones I'm really, really looking forward to. Just to, again, I know we're talking about ones that are live, but, I'm a Polkadot connoisseur. You guys got to look out for Polka Foundry, guys. Polka Foundry, which is going to launch on paid, guys. Polka Foundry has one of the team members from Kyber. They're going to be they have an advisors from Ori Chain, and they are going to be an all-in-one DeFi hub, and they're looking to do some type of work with Substrate. Again, I know my Polkadot gems. I've looked into this one. This one is as bullish as they get.
Wow. Okay. I must say I'm also invested in that one, so very keen to see how that goes. Elio, this is a great thing because we don't have to wait for the Elio video to drop tonight to know.
Well, yeah, for the stuff on the market, it's kind of the first time in a while where you're getting to see a nice hard wash on some good stuff, right? You're seeing, it throughout February, things were just they were so pumped. And so some of the good things just felt like, yeah, well, they were good. I remember when Biz or Wolf or Coach K or Kyle had sort of, or you Ran had talked about these things at, 1/10 the market cap. And then it's like, yeah, they're good, but they're up 10x right now from just a couple of days ago. So we know the laws of gravity make that a hard buy. But the Polkadot narrative strong, Staffy very strong. Things like Fala, things that you see are going to get the parachain narrative. PCX is another one that I absolutely know is going to get a parachain. It was the first ever project on Polkadot, and it's a second layer relay chain. Just whenever that parachain auction rolls around, that's going to be a quite an event for those projects, I believe. And then you're also looking at things that I believe is one of the sort of least hyped but most deserving narratives is the miner extractable value narrative. is going to be absolutely massive. And one of my favorite projects, I think the leader of that space, KeeperDAO, just took a 50% discount on this last hard wash. It's sitting here at what is it, about $400. It was up at about $800. So to me, KeeperDAO is just one that I'm a big long-term fan of. I think that one has got way more upside to it. I see that as a healthy 4-digit coin in the future. And we're also looking at, what was the other one I had up here? Oh yeah, I mean, obviously, you can't underestimate narratives right now, and the NFT narrative reminds me of DeFi in July of last year. There was a couple of hits, and people are memeing it. People are talking about it and saying, "Oh, what's this little 3-4 letter term, this 2-syllable thing?" And then NFT comes along. I think people are underestimating the strength of this narrative. And there's a bunch of really interesting projects within it. So many so that I think I want to encourage people to just go read up on NFTs. Liquid staking stuff with NFTs is very interesting as well. It brings up the Kira narrative, the Staffy narrative. Those are all very interesting. As you can tell, I'm kind of jumping around because there's a lot of opportunity now emerging in the market, which I could see becoming very interesting here. And Decenter, right? I do like Decenter a lot. I think it's been a pretty underperformer compared to what it could be. And its big brother, basic attention token, is something like 50x its value. And you always love to see that when there's, the next viable sort of comparison is orders of magnitude bigger. And the tech is not.
That is trash. Better. That is trash. Don't buy that. That is straight
exactly.
trash.
Exactly. And so you look at a younger version with interesting tech, potentially a 2x, 3x on the tech, and you have that huge gap in market cap. You love to see it.
I think that NFTs is going to drive crypto adoption around the world. I think that the real catalyst for crypto adoption is not people wanting money, but it's going to be people wanting cool things.
Yes.
And we've got money.
Why are we not talking about the Banksy being burned?
Sorry, Mr.
Why are we not talking about where I live? Where I live in Brooklyn, the Banksy being burned and Superfarm being involved, and then Superfarm being mentioned in Forbes and Superfarm being mentioned in news. That's like one of the biggest events that happened. Did you guys, it's a big talk right now in the whole world. They burned the Banksy to mint it to create an NFT.
It's a really cool experiment. This group came to us and they said, "Hey, Superfarm, we heard about you guys. Can you help us mint this NFT? We want to burn a Banksy." And everyone, burning a Banksy. It was just such a sizzling concept. And we're like, sure, we understand some people might disagree with that. Some people might love it. And we have no comment on whether it's good or bad. We're decentralized tech. So go ahead. Use our tech to mint the NFT and let's see the experiment ensue. Got picked up by Forbes, got picked up by Financial Times and CBS. And it was just a really interesting experiment, transitioning something from physical to digital. The actual value of that, we'll see, right? And they wanted to auction it off immediately. Obviously, we're launching Superfarm later this month, but they wanted to auction this off immediately, so they're doing it on open.
It's gonna go for over $1 million. It's gonna go for over $1 million. Can't bank that. It's gonna go for a lot of money. That NFT.
I think it's going to be a really cool experiment, and again, it could become a trend, right, where people create works to be transitioned to physical through burning, through some kind of destructive mechanism. I see that as being almost like its own genre of art or expression. And again, people are underestimating the art bubble coming to NFT. And I talk with the TikTok audience, right? What happens when these TikTokers start NFTing dances and NFTing short form content? I think we're underestimating how far this thing's going to go and how little people will associate it with what we consider crypto.
Exactly. That's what's going to drive the adoption because people are going to want to own cool things. All right, Kyle, 2 minutes to go with Kyle. Kyle, go for it. Your best picks today that we should be looking at.
Yeah, so last time I talked about Moonswap. That's still up, I think, like 4x from last time I called it. Still totally undervalued, but like I want to talk about some topic here. Like, so one of the projects that and the team that I've liked for a long time, some of you in the space might know, you either hate this guy or you love this guy, Chris from DAOmaker. DAOmaker, like they have just incredibly innovative. They just launched their token about a month ago or something like that. And one thing I know for sure, because I've had lots of talks with the team over there, nobody, it's hard to find someone that understands token economics better than DAOmaker team. Plus they've been doing sales since 2017 or something like that. And they're innovative, right? So they're creating some serious infrastructure for blockchain projects. We all know blockchain is not going away. It is exploding. And what I like about projects like Superfarm, like DAOmaker, like Paid, is we're building more than just a launch pad, right? So we're building products that we believe are going to be good in a bull or bear market, because projects that are building just launch pads, they're going to be completely dead when if the market corrects. They're done. There's nothing there for them
pool 2.0,
bear market, right? So, and another thing it takes, and a lot of people are trying to do Me Too's on a launch pad, but it's all about deal flow and access, you know, and people people are begging Elio to take deals. You know, Chris has been doing it forever and has a track record. And me, I've been investing and sourcing deals since 2014. You know, so there's a project like that. But I think DAOmaker is going to be, you know, DAOmaker, Superfarm, Paid, like these. We all have a lot of ways to go because we have the really strong narrative in a bull market, and we're building true technology that has real world use cases on the backside that will, you know, survive for years to come.
All right, guys, we've got to call it there. I think what we'll do is next week, we're just going to do a Friday banter. So there's going to be no news. There's going to be no show. It's just going to be a 1 hour Friday banter. So tune in for that. We'll try and get you guys the same panel. The one that I'm excited about actually launches tomorrow. I know that some of you guys are also excited about. That's BSC Tools. We did speak about it on the show. We did a review. That's the DEX tools for Binance. Let's see what happens tomorrow in their public sale. Guys, we're going to call it. Thank you so much for joining us. I know you guys are in different parts of the world. Some of you are in Thailand. Some of you are in different places. Absolute pleasure. Thank you, friends. See you guys all next week. See you guys all next.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, guys. Pleasure.
And guys, I want to just, before we let everybody go, I want to just say a very, very special thank you to Fred, our producer. Fred, the man who brought me my beer. Thank you, Fred. Been an awesome week with you. Fred's produced the shows pretty much on his own the entire week. I'm sure you'll agree with me that he has been an unbelievable addition to our team. Give Fred some love. Hit the like. Hit the subscribe. I'll see you again on Monday. Same time, same place. 10 a.m. EST on Monday. We're going to bring you a killer show. We got a review of the Phantom token, which is our token of the month, with Michael Chen. I'll see you again on Monday. Until then, if you are trading, guys, trade well, my friends. Remember to watch that 10-year treasury yield rate. And if it goes up, exit all markets. If you think it's going to go up, take profits. Remember, it's not about how much money you make. It's about how much money you keep. I'll see you guys again on Monday.
Crypto Banter is a social podcast for entertainment purposes only. All opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers should not be construed as financial advice. Views expressed by guests and hosts do not reflect the views of the station. Listeners are encouraged to do their own research.